and welcome to WorldSkills UK's live studio here in Kazan, Russia, for what is proving to be already a spectacular event out here in Russia, where I'm joined on the sofa by Dr. Neil Bentley-Gottman, who we'll come on to in a moment, Neil. But I'm Ashley Terran, your host for the next 4 days, and what we'll be discussing was competitors and training managers on our couch is exactly what's going on here in Russia, so that we can really bring home to you and you can feel exactly what we're experiencing here today. Now, for those who don't know, WorldSkills is the largest skills event in the world, with over 63 member countries being represented here today, competing in over 56 different skills competitions. Last night we had the opening ceremony at the local football arena in Kazan, with over 40,000 visitors were present at which, and over the course of the next 4 days we're expecting 250,000 visitors here to see the 1,300 competitors on display here in Russia today. Team UK is made up of 37 of those competitors, competing in 32 different disciplines, which I'm sure is, as you can imagine, a massive spectacle here on show. Now, as referred to earlier, I'm lucky enough to be joined in the studio by Dr. Neil Bentley-Gottman, OBE. Dr. Neil, please introduce yourself and tell us exactly what you do for WorldSkills UK.
Sure, hi Ash. So my job is Chief Executive, and my role is to make sure WorldSkills UK performs at its best, and that includes Team UK. So that means I'm slightly nervous over the next couple of days until we see the results.
Right, so Neil, but I'm sure all the training and the planning and preparation that's gone before, hopefully by the end of it we'll be sat here with big smiles on our face.
Absolutely.
Neil, obviously you're very loud and proud about WorldSkills UK, and you're very prevalent within kind of social media and the press and so on, government as well as local businesses. Why are you so passionate about WorldSkills UK though?
I love WorldSkills UK. I mean, I started in the job 4 years ago and applied to do the role for a really simple reason, that WorldSkills and WorldSkills in the UK puts young people at the heart of a really important debate for the economy and the future of the country. Yeah. And that is, are we training enough young people in trades, for engineering, construction, new technology? And WorldSkills plays a really important part in the UK in showcasing what you can do with a career in those trades, and following those skills, taking up an apprenticeship, following a technical career route. And I think it's absolutely vital to show more and more young people and their parents and their teachers that you can have a rewarding career and life by following your trade.
Absolutely, and you touched on it there, Neil, in terms of the young people that we're trying to embrace and get involved with WorldSkills UK. But what exactly does WorldSkills UK kind of do for those young people?
So the core of our activities are really centred around two big things. One is the skills competitions themselves. So that's about giving young people an opportunity to hone their skills, whatever their chosen trade is, through competing at local, regional, national, and like here on an international level. But it's also then about showcasing all of that and turning it into what we call a sort of experiential careers advice. So you can see, you can observe, you can have a go at things. And at our national finals every year in Birmingham at the NEC, you can really get engaged in what's going on. And so we see it as a massive sort of career showcase, really. And we think that by doing that live, but also through social media and things like this sort of program, we're reaching out to influence parents and teachers and young people to really think twice as they're making careers choices. Yeah,
we're trying to engage as many people as we can, aren't we?
Yeah.
And for our Team UK out here, our wonderful Team UK out here today in Russia, it's been quite a rigorous process, certainly picking them up from, say, national final to getting them here today. Can you just expand a little bit more on that for us, just for people back home?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago now, we chose a squad of about 150 young people from our national finals and put them on to an international training program, which really tests their mettle in terms of not just their technical ability to do really well, but their mindset, their confidence, their resilience. And so we do put them through quite a tough process. And some of them get to go out and test themselves at a European level competition and come back. And then we put them through a big week-long really process of testing against each other, a selection process for who's going to make it onto Team UK. So we started out with about 150, and as you said before, we've ended up with 37 here. So we know we've got the creme de la creme of British skills on Team UK.
Absolutely, and just on that team selection process, we've got a short film to show people back home what exactly it takes to be out here in Russia today.
WorldSkills UK is an amazing partnership between governments, the education sector and businesses right across the UK, and we're all about helping young people succeed in work and life. So the WorldSkills International Competition is pretty much like the Skills Olympics. It is an amazing bringing together of young people from right across the world, hotly contested competition to be the best in the world at what they do.
The range of skills involved in WorldSkills competitions is vast, anything from bricklaying to web design to CNC milling to mechatronics to hair and beauty. And this is a world stage where the UK gets the chance to demonstrate how good we are at skills and what potential we have in the UK. Team UK selection process is purposefully very difficult because what we want to do is we want to see how they perform under a real pressure, and so the level that they're competing at is very high. It's world class. This week we put them through their paces, we give them test projects that are akin to world class standard, and we give them roughly about 22 hours to complete them, and then we look at how they perform and also take into account things like mental preparedness, potential for growth and resilience in competition.
For young people, being part of Team UK is pretty much a life-changing experience. Not only does it develop their technical skills in their chosen trade to world-class levels, it also brings forward their life skills, their self-confidence, their resilience, and their ability to cope under pressure. And both of those skill sets and the mindset really sets them up for life.
The help that competitors received in the selection process is, I guess, on two levels. One is around their technical abilities, so making sure that they remember their training, that they remember the things that have been drilled into them over the last 18 months. And also from the other side, looking at the coaching and the mindset and the physical elements of competing, so that they really are tuned to do the best they can do for this week.
So now we've selected Team UK, we're firmly on the road to Russia, it's in our sights, and now the really hard work begins in terms of all the hours that need to be put in, not just in terms of developing the technical skills to the highest possible level to take on the Russians, the Chinese, the Koreans and others in the rest of the world, but also to make sure that these young people as Team UK have got the resilience and the mindset to be able to represent the UK on the world stage.
Shocked, happy, everything's shaking.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I just can't believe that all the hard work finally paid off.
I was lost for words, to be honest.
So proud. I'm unbelievably proud.
Oh, I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you.
Really proud, to be honest. It's been a long journey. Absolutely ecstatic. Still shaking. I was shaking more now than I was before I went in.
It means a lot to me. I'm just very happy. Yeah.
Welcome back everyone to WorldSkills UK studio live here in Kazan at the World Final. I'm still joined by WorldSkills UK CEO Dr. Neil Bentley-Gockman OBE. Neil, thanks for sticking with us.
No problem.
Now, Neil, just continuing on, what is WorldSkills UK doing to, initiative-wise, to get more women involved in skills?
Yeah, well, we'd love a lot more young women to come into our skills competition program. About half of the population in the UK is young women, but we're not seeing that coming into our program. So what we're trying to do more and more is just be, first of all, really explicit that we love more young women. So if any of the viewers out there know some young women who are interested in careers in construction or engineering or new technology and think they'd like to have a go, get in touch with us or get in touch with their college and put themselves forward.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge skills deficit in the UK, and we need all young people to get involved in skills and apprenticeships, young women and young men. Yeah. But there's a big opportunity, I think, for more young women to get involved in these new careers, in which they're underrepresented in. And in the past, careers advice and other things have been slightly biased towards young men coming into certain career routes and young women doing more traditional things. And we're saying, through the surveys we've done with parents, we know that young people and parents are no longer thinking along those sort of traditional routes. So we've just got to encourage more young women to think more broadly, and if they're really passionate about doing something, just get on with it. We saw this year in our national heats, there was a women-only painting and decorating competition heat, which is fantastic. And so the more we can encourage that sort of stuff, because that's about role modelling, older women role modelling for younger women the art of the possible, and saying, if I can do it, you can do it too. And I think role modelling, sending our former skills competitors, our champions, into schools and colleges is a really big part of what we're doing, just to show other young women that you can do things that other people may be advising you not to.
Absolutely, it's spreading the word, as you say, and I think one thing that's kind of been displayed here in Kazan, it's year on year or competition on competition, there seems to be more women involved in the skills, and skills, as you're saying, that previously you're less likely to get involved with, so it's great to see. And I know one of the initiatives that the UK are putting forward is the UK Productivity Lab. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, so that's basically about saying, you know, here we are in Kazan, where there are 60 odd other countries here. There are 82 members of WorldSkills overall. Surely we've got something to learn from them. So that's really about saying, you know, we've got stuff to learn from the French and the Germans that are closest, but what about China? What about what Russia's doing? Doing great things in their own vocational careers systems. And there must be stuff we can do in the UK, because from a government perspective, everybody talks about the UK skill system being world class, and then saying, is it world class? Maybe it needs an upgrade to be world class. We say, well, actually, WorldSkills is world class, so maybe we should learn from everybody else. Absolutely. And that program is about bringing back all those learnings, sharing it with governments, sharing it with colleges and training providers, sharing it with businesses to help them really think about how they can improve the standard of their own training.
I think you're right. It's not just about finding the world's best at a certain skill or a certain trade. It's very rare, I imagine, that the whole world is on the same platform together, focusing on skills and the learning that can be had from that. It's massive, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is an absolutely unique platform, and, you know, part of my job every day is going out to tell people about it and to sell it and tell them how not just unique it is, but how we're not making the most of it in the UK. Because countries like Russia have really taken WorldSkills right into the heart of their vocational training system, and they're using it to drive change and upgrade their own system. And I go around the UK telling people, why aren't we doing the same? No.
I think it was quite certain to see last night, which we're coming on to now, Neil, the opening ceremony in Russia. You only had to look at the size of Russia's team. But moving on to the closing ceremony, the opening ceremony, last night, what did you make of it? It was spectacular. It was fireworks. There was over 40,000 people in the arena. Tell us what your thoughts on it were.
It was just massive. I mean, I couldn't believe it when it started. But just the scale, as you say, the size of it. But also just the entertainment, the fireworks, the huge spectacle which they put on to celebrate young people from around the world coming to compete at WorldSkills. I mean, I think it's been the biggest showcase that we've ever seen in WorldSkills. So all credit to the Russians for putting that on, pulling it off in the way they did. They set a really high benchmark. The next WorldSkills after this is in China, in Shanghai, so I'm sure they'll have been looking at last night going, how can we do better than that? But it was just absolutely fabulous to see, and great to be a part of it.
Absolutely, there was some investment made in it. It was certainly my favourite opening ceremony up to now anyway. So just for the viewers back home, we're going to cut some highlights now from last night in case you missed our show yesterday evening.
Privyet, salam, hello and welcome to the 45th WorldSkills competition.
Im Namen aller Teilnehmerinnen.
I promise that we will officiate
наши обязанности с полной беспристрастностью.
That skills change lives. Make new friends and create lasting memories. And of course, enjoy yourselves.
45-й мировой чемпионат по профессиональному мастерству по стандарту WorldSkills объявляю открытым.
Welcome back everyone to WorldSkills UK studio live here in Kazan. I'm sure you'll agree the opening ceremony was quite something last night, wasn't it? But we've been lucky enough to be joined by one of our stars of the show. Owen joins us here in the studio today. Now Owen, how does it finally feel to be here in Russia? And just tell everyone what exactly you're doing here in Russia today.
Yeah, it's really good to finally get here. I spent over 2 years training for it and I'm competing in a cabinet making competition.
Brilliant. And Owen, just tell us a little bit more about your process and kind of the selection process to get you here at the World Final. It must have been a long wait. Finally here. How did it all come about?
It all came about, my college tutor entered me into the regional competitions and I progressed on to the nationals and then got selected into Squad UK, where there's 3 of us all competing for one position in the team, which I got back in March at an event called Team Selection, which felt really good. And I spent the last few months just building up, getting as much training in as possible to get ready for this week.
I know cabinet making previously, Owen's been quite successful. We've got Christian Notley, MBE, is the training manager and turned chief expert, I believe, this year. And so what's it been like working with people like Christian Notley and having previous competitors to work alongside? How has the training been to get you to this point?
It's been really useful to have that amount of knowledge behind to help me with all my techniques and how I'm processing to make things, because I've got loads of different people to ask for different views on how they do it, which is really useful in finding a way that works for me. And having Christian with all of his experience is really good, all the competition experience as well. So absolutely. I know I come here knowing exactly what's expected of me and what I need to do.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got a great team around you, haven't you, really? Great support around you.
Yeah, definitely.
How tough has it been, like, physically and mentally to get you to this stage? It's been over 2 years training, and it's both time out of work and concentrated training right at the end. How's it been for you?
It's been really tough, both physically and mentally, especially over the last few months with the amount of time I've spent training. Trying to get the balance between work and training is a tough decision to make sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I think I've just about managed to get it right.
Brilliant. And just over to yourself, Neil. I know that's kind of said for a lot of the competitors. Some of the training it's over possibly 4 years even if they're age eligible for the cycle. Yeah. It can be quite physically and mentally, as we're just saying, quite challenging. How do we kind of, as a support for WorldSkills UK, help them get over that?
Yeah, so as you say, it can be quite a long process for everybody, competitors not least, but also their families, friends and support networks. So what we do is we help with our team leaders and psychologists and supporters to make sure that we are working with their employers, colleges and training providers to make sure that everybody's needs are balanced out, as Owen has just said, that everybody's is working together towards the end goal, which is trying to get you to the best you can be and to this international competition. And people like Christian, your training manager, hugely experienced. I mean, that is the definition of a world-class educator, in my opinion, and he is one of the best in the world at what he does, and so we should be celebrating him alongside Owen's achievements, because all of that is what makes WorldSkills and WorldSkills in the UK fantastic.
Absolutely, it's a team effort by all, isn't it? I don't know, yourself, Owen, physically and mentally, the challenges. I think times at Loughborough University, where Team UK or Team GB for the Olympics, they often spend their time there preparing for the World Finals and the World Olympics. And I know WorldSkills UK kind of do the same thing. So you become, in essence, an athlete rather than just a competitor. I mean, the time in Loughborough, did you enjoy it? What type of stuff did you get up to?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the weekends we spent at Loughborough. It's been really useful to talk through lots of psychology techniques and coping strategies to deal with the pressure. And it's also great to have the team building exercises to get to know everyone around you and get a good support network to bring out with you to competition. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I know a bit of a famous star now, I believe, after the little appearance on one show, our little appearance. Did you enjoy that? That was only last week, helping again spread the word of WorldSkills, but also like showcasing yourself and the world-class skills that you have. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really good. It was something I've never done before, so I thought I'd throw myself into it, give it a go, and get my name out there, and get WorldSkills UK out there a bit.
Excellent. Well done, Owen. And so your competition this week, your model, I believe it's quite a challenging model. Just describe what you've got to do here this week for us.
So we've got to make a little side table it's got 2 doors and a drawer in it. We've got 21 hours, 15 minutes to make it. It's quite a complex little piece with lots of tricky little details to get. But it should be able to get it done good quality within the time.
Excellent. And what you're most looking forward to over the next 3 days, the rest of the competition? All this time you've waited to get it's come down to 4 days now. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the rest of the competition, just enjoying making a bit of furniture, and I'm really looking forward to the closing ceremony after the opening ceremony. Is really good.
Excellent. I know just the other day you was involved in what's called One School, One Country, where you had the opportunity to go to a local school in Kazan. How was that for you, and what type of stuff did you get up to?
Yeah, that was really good. We went out to a small school in Kazan, and they did some presentations about Kazan and Russia, and we had some performances, some dancing and some singing, and we went outside, we did some sports with all the school kids there, which was really good fun actually.
And Neil, just on One School, One Country, I think again it's great for us to kind of be able to put our competitors into a school and try and inspire and inspire the school children coming through. I think the age range was 8 to 16, so it's a great capture. What did you make of it all?
Yeah, I mean it's a huge initiative for WorldSkills because every team is paired with a school locally, and it's really got 2 goals. One is sort of cultural exchange, because the school then, we're paired up about 6 months in advance, I think, and the school then starts to learn all about the UK. Puts a program together and they learn all about that. But then with the team going in, there's a huge careers advice element of them understanding what people who are doing at the top of their game and trades and apprenticeships look like, because the young people are still at an age where they'll be influenced by what they're seeing and hearing. And I know they put on a fantastic program, I think, yesterday, and so lots of fun and sports activities I saw. So I think everybody had a good time, but underneath it all, it is about promoting WorldSkills, and it's about promoting, say, that cultural exchange, but also following careers and apprenticeships and technical career routes is the route to success.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just Owen, when you were there and you arrived, I believe they put on a bit of a dance, a bit of a presentation for you. How was that? What did you kind of get up to there?
They put on they did some Shakespeare play for us, which is really interesting. I didn't understand any of the words because it was in Russian.
Yeah.
I got the gist of it though. It was really good.
Excellent. And what type of, did you take anything away from it? Did you learn anything about Russian culture or?
Yeah, we learnt about the city of Kazan, about it being really old. It's over 1,000 years old, I think. It's got lots of very rich history.
Excellent. And I think we've just got a short clip now just to show some highlights from the One School, One Country clip for yourselves at home.
So today we have been to visit a school in Kazan to do One School, One Country. So we have been exchanging cultural information. They've been telling us about their foods and things, and we've been doing the same back. We've had a bit of activities this morning where we've been doing a bit of sports with the children.
We had some of the students actually put on some performances for us. So they recreated a Shakespeare performance, so that was quite interesting to see. And then there were also a few songs and they got us up on the stage to join in as well, so it was great fun. It's been great to actually come from, obviously, our country, to come here and actually to be received in this way. It's actually been really nice. We actually had a team from Team UK to actually deliver a presentation about the UK. That was just after the school students actually delivered one about Kazan. So I hope that the students in the school learned a few bits about the UK from that. But their English is really good, so it's really nice actually being able to talk to them about the differences. We often get told that Kazan is a bit of a sort of melting pot for all of these different cultures. You don't really realise it at first, but then as you sort of look around, you realise that all of these cultures are sort of living together and getting along really well. So that's been really interesting for us, and they seem to have integrated everybody from all over the world, from every team, into sort of part of the culture. I don't think any country really feels left out in Kazan, and I think that's why Kazan is an amazing city to host WorldSkills.
Welcome back to the WorldSkills UK's live studio here in Kazan, Russia, where we've been left by Dr. Neil Bentley-Gockman, OBE, and also by Owen. They've gone on to Pastures U, and we've been joined by more of the stars of the show in WorldSkills UK's Manufacturing Team Challenge. Welcome guys, thanks for joining us. I know it's been day one of the competition, no doubt you're all tired and want to get back and have some food and some rest, no doubt. So James Thomason, we have yourself, Isaac Fontaine, we have yourself, and Andrew Joyce, we have yourself. So James, talk us through Manufacturing Team Challenge and what exactly it is that you all do.
So basically, obviously, it's a team of 3, so what happens is, at the start of the competition, like when we know that we've been selected, we'll be given a brief.
Yeah.
So we get it early. So basically, this year especially, we've been given the brief to build a wheelchair that it's then got to fold. It's got to fold down and fit into a certain size box.
Right.
But once opened, it's then got to hit certain sizes. The chair's got to move up, down. It's got to help the user get out. And then I think also it's got to carry around 200 kilos as well with.
Wow.
In the aid of 2 people.
Yeah.
There's obviously the electronics on top of that.
Brilliant. So you all kind of come together at team selection, and I imagine you formed your own team.
Oh well, no. Us 3 were lucky that we work for the same company.
Oh wow.
So I think for the past, I'd say 4 months we've been on it full time. So 5 days a week we've just been training hard.
Excellent. And Isaac, just how many different nations are you against this week in Russia?
So off the top of my head, I think we're competing against 8 nations. There's obviously ourselves, there's China, Japan, Korea and Chinese Taipei representing Asia.
Mm-hmm.
There's Brazil representing South America, and there's Russia, France alongside us representing Europe. So we've seen what they've got to offer, and I think we've realised that the big thing about this competition is preparation.
Yeah.
It's all, I think if you compare us skill-wise to other teams, we're very competitive, but it's all about preparation, and there's a lot of things that get said about other teams and how they operate and things like that, but at the end of the day we've said we're here now, we've done our preparation, this is the best preparation we could have done before the event, and now we're here, let's enjoy it, let's execute, and let's see where we come.
Absolutely, Isaac. I think Andrew just touching on that. I think when you get to this point, I think all your training's done as you're referring to there, Isaac, and it's almost what will be at this stage. You've trained for however long. You've been put in terms of in front of international pressure tests, even in some instances. Has that been the case for yourselves?
Yeah, I think once arriving here, all that pressure it seemed to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Like that this is our one opportunity, our one chance, and if you hold on to the pressure that we had before, it can get in the way and sort of hold you back. And obviously pressure's good, it keeps you on your toes, but in the final, this final comp, it's best just to not let it get to you, stay on your A game, and just treat it like another day in the office sort of thing.
Absolutely. I know from personal experience back in 2013, it was nice almost once the competition had started and your first 5 minutes had gone, you felt the pressure relieve a little bit, and then after day one you felt it relieve a little bit more, and like you say, you're right on top of your game now. You kind of train for however many years, you're right at the top, and over the next, say, 72 hours, it's just your opportunity to show exactly what you've done and what you can do as well. So how does it finally feel to be here in Kazan?
I think sort of the reality sort of kicked in. I think yesterday when we walked in to the opening ceremony, that really sort of like, wow, we're here, it's happening. Like familiarisation, a few days, it's been long hours, tough, getting into it. But no, today we've gone well across the board. So
brilliant.
It's a lot to build on. Yeah.
And Isaac, just on the opening ceremony last night, there was over 40,000 people there in the local football stadium in Kazan. There was a massive spectacle, fireworks on show, dancers everywhere. It was enormous. What did it feel like to walk out in front of all those people, televised around the globe with all the nations watching in? How did that feel like, representing the country out on stage?
Surreal. Not used to
say.
being in front of that many people. But I would say you sort of forget they're there. It sounds a bit strange, but at the end of the day, you just sort of, I think everyone in team over the last since we set off from London have got, we've all banded together. I would say we are a team now. Before we were just a collective of people that represent the UK. Now we're a team. We've got a chance sorted out. We've got a bit of a camaraderie going on, and we all seem to support each other pretty well. So walking out, it was just good to walk out with your mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just that was the opening and say, look, we've done what we need to do now, and it's going to be gone in a flash. Let's enjoy being here. Let's enjoy the spectacle. Let's enjoy the moment, and just enjoy it. That was the main thing yesterday, and we're good. We're good overall.
Excellent. And I think James, it's certainly, if last night or if prior to getting on the plane at Kazan wasn't wasn't the point in which the penny dropped. I think last night certainly was, walking out in front of all those people, wasn't it?
No, definitely. I just think we've been on this 3 years now, and at first, especially when we landed in Kazan, I was just like, right, we're here. I'm just going to take away from this that I've made it here. That's the main thing. Like, but after walking out, thinking actually, I want to walk up on stage and receive a medal, and I wouldn't really say the pressure like hit me, but it made me realise what I've got myself in for as such, and how far I actually want to go with it.
It's the desire for it as well, isn't it?
No, definitely.
It's realising, I imagine, back from, say, the national finals to this point, you don't quite understand it at the national final, you don't quite understand the scale of the event and the enormity and the different nations that are involved, and until you kind of get it, that's when you truly understand it, I feel, and I think that's true, isn't it?
It's like the step from national to international is massive. Like, I think for the national it's only 2 days for our competition, whereas here it's around 5. So it's even just like the time scale you compete in, it's big as it is.
It's a different competition altogether, in a sense,
definitely.
Isn't it? I know one school, one country we've touched on briefly already this evening. How did you find that yesterday?
Unfortunately, we couldn't make it.
Are you joking?
No, because our familiarisation...
Too busy working?
Yeah.
Well, good answer.
It was our familiarisation on the first day, and we had technical problems with the computers, so we then came in yesterday morning to finish that off, so we couldn't make it, unfortunately.
Excellent. No, well, it was good anyway from the highlights, and a good answer that you're carrying on working. You've not been out enjoying some of the local delicacies here in Kazan anyway.
Working hard.
No. Well, look, guys, thanks for joining us. We wish you all the best of luck this week, and I'm sure you'll smash it and do the UK proud. And also, thanks to yourselves at home for tuning in. It's been our first live broadcast here from Kazan for the 45th WorldSkills competition. We hope you've enjoyed it and the highlights of the competition throughout the day, and also the opening ceremony. And we hope you tune in tomorrow, same time, on Twitter and YouTube, live at 4 p.m. for more of the action and some more special guests and stars of the show, as we have here today. Thank you.